Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. I'm Tandy, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of White Weenie in Pioneer, but this isn't the same White Weenie we're used to. There are no Brave the Elements in the 75. Instead, we are going hard on the new Skrelv Defector Might. 1 mana, 1/1 with Toxic 1 and can't block, but it has Phyrexian White and tap. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. Can't be blocked by a creature of that color this turn. So it's essentially protection. So Skrelv Defector Might is a great card for protecting your creatures from removal. It's something you can play on turn 1, and then your turn 2 Thalia is essentially just protected for the rest of the game. Your opponent's removal is going to have to Lightning Rod onto Skrelv, which means that your 2 drops are going to be a lot more powerful. Overall, I really like Skrelv in the deck. I think it's a pretty nice upgrade to Brave the Elements, and I'm interested to see how it works in the deck. Everything else is stuff we've seen. Hopeful Initiate, Dauntless Bodyguard, Recruitment Officer, Kithian. These are all 1 mana creatures that just help fuel Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant is maybe the best, Lord type payoff for humans that's ever been printed. And the fact that we get to play with in Pioneer is awesome. Luminarch Aspirant, another aggressive human that works well with those 1-drops. And then the new card, the newest addition to the deck outside of Skrelv is Ossification. This 2 mana removal spell is reminiscent of Journey to Nowhere. It brings me great joy to exile a creature for 2 mana and with an enchantment. And all you gotta do is play some planes, and this deck plays a lot of planes. Top end for Adeline for Bruticathar. We're not messing around too much with things like Extraction Specialist, and I think that that's okay. But I will say I do think Skrelv is good with Extraction Specialist. So if there was a build that trimmed like an Ossification and a Kithian or Recruitment Officer or something and played 2, it wouldn't be that bad because we have added a bit of threat density with the Skrelvs. And I think that specifically bringing back Skrelv with Extraction Specialist is quite strong. And your opponent has a heavy incentive to kill Skrelv early. The sideboard, we have 2 Guardian of Faith. This is going to protect us from sweeper effects by phasing out our stuff. 4 Wedding Announcement, which is going to be nice against Rakdos for winning longer games where we can just generate a bunch of pressure for 1 card. 3 Right Aim, which is going to be an absolute heater on the front side against things like Lotus Field. And on the back, it's going to just put Rakdos Sacrifice in the dirt. 4 copies of Portable Hole for the aggressive matchups. And then 2 Sword of Forge and Frontier, which is going to be nice against Mono Green and Gruul. This is White Weenie by Takumi Matsura. Top 8. Proto Phyrexia. Let's play League. We're in the draw. Already a big downside. No 1-drop. Another big downside. If they mulligan. I don't think I can mulligan this hand. I think with interaction, lands and spells. Blooming Marsh. Thoughts he's used. So maybe Abzan Greasefang? Abzan? If this is Greasefang is basically a 0%er for this deck. Their combo is creature centric and instance, like we just can't interact at instant speed, so they took Ossification, okay. I hope it's anything except Greasefang, and we'll be happy. I'll probably play Luminarch on 2 to go ahead and start getting the tokens. Misery Shadow. Okay, so it's the Golgari deck. I think that's okay. I don't really want to burn an Ossification on that. I want to save it for Shield Red or whatever. Maybe a 3-drop. The Dirty D. Doses and mimosas. Champagne and cocaine up to get me through. Alright, we'll activate Meatball. We'll play Thalia's Lieutenant. Put a counter on the Luminarch and attack. We need another white source pretty bad. Alright, whatever. Alright, we'll take the big hits. And because they're spending their whole turn doing this. So that means they have another Fatal Push? Really? Gold medal, thanks for the follow. Will, thanks for the follow. I guess I should have just ossification this. I just feel like if they have fatal push, if I have ossification this, I'm just like not progressing my board at all. I can maybe take one more hit from this swing, but I can also threaten to trade Mutavault for this. All right, I'll probably just trade Kithian for it. The Blitz is not that big of a deal for me. I guess I should have just killed this as soon as I could, huh? Dealt me a lot of damage. They missed the points. I just need another freaking mana, man. Just need another land is all. Also should have attacked first. They might be holding Fatal Push for the Brutal Cathar that they knew about. I do think that they have Fatal Push. They've missed 2 damage intentionally. All right, so they dealt themselves, what, 4 damage that round? Well, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I just can't play anything. We're gonna use our mana efficiently, play Brutal Cathar. I know I don't have a target, but it costs 3, so it might be a little hard to Fatal Push. And if they don't play anything, it'll flip. I guess Blitz counts. We're gonna hold back 2 creatures to block. They'll push the Lieutenant, and then maybe have an answer to the Brutal. Yo, what's up, Goya? How are you? All right, well, we have to block. And then if we don't draw, I guess even if we draw a land, we can play a couple things. Maybe we play 2 1-drops and hold up the Mutavault too. I don't know. Okay. God, they're so close to dying. If we draw a land, we can maybe fire both Mutavaults and put them to 1, and then they can't thought dog anymore. Damn. All right, all right, all right. All right, so we'll play the 2 1-drops and then hold up the Mutavault to block as well. Have you already tested Rakdos mid? I mean, not in a little while. I know that it's like a great deck. Misplaced Ginger's big into it, and he streams all the time. If you're interested in that kind of content, I highly recommend his channel. Obviously, I'd rather you stay here, but just letting you know where to find the things that you want. Game's much different when we're on the play. A bit. It's also way different if we just draw any sort of white source in the first like 5 draw steps or something. It's only being able to play 1 spell turn is pretty bad. If we activate Mutavault, they have to pay 2. They have 5 mana. But I get to attack and maybe kill them next turn. Let's see, if I draw another 2-drop though, I want to be able to play it. Maybe I just block with Hopeful Initiate though. I'm gonna block with a smaller Mute Vault, I guess. So if we activate Mute Vault and attack and they have nothing, they're dead. The underdog can draw them a card. If I draw a land, I'll probably do it because I have a chump blocker as well. So we have one blocker, but we don't have two blockers. Do we go for both? All right, well, if they let us attack, we attack with these two. They can kill this. They take two. And then this protects us from the swing back. We have two blockers, and then we have a lethal thing, maybe? Are we even lethal that away? Let me think. They played, what, 2 fatal pushes? If we attack with this, that puts them to 4. They can't dash. Okay, this is better. This is better because they can't dash. So they need a removal spell for one of my attackers, and then a removal spell for... No shot, Tear Asunder, dude. Oh, they just had 2 things. Whatever, man. 0%. 0%. Or wedding announcement for sure. Probably a couple swords. Brutal Cathar can come out. They just have tons of removal. I like boarding that out most of the time. I don't know that the swords are that good, because they seem to be black base in their creatures. But it does make like every creature relevant. If they have a bunch of ways to kill ossification, I don't know how good it is. But that means sword's not good either, right? We do have 1, 2, 3 curves, so basically the perfect opener. Even in the face of a Thoughtseize, this is a great opener. I think the problem is we just took a little too much damage from the Misery Shadow. I'm not sure how early they had answers to the ossification. So if we just do that on turn 3, we could just get blown out by like a turn 4, turn 5 Tear Asunder or whatever, you know? It's legendary Ladoja, so you can just draw 2 and it doesn't do enough. I mean, you can afford to have some dead cards in hand, but I don't think you can afford to draw 3 Skrulls ever. I don't know, man. I that's just the logic. I don't know how airtight it is or whatever. That's just kind of the gist. All right, so let's go castle. Activate, put a counter on stuff. Put a counter here so we can attack with both easily. And now next one we can Adeline plus attack puts a ton of counters on Thaw's Lieutenant. Maybe Adeline was better, but I like playing Adeline after Lieutenant because we get a big buff on stuff. Should we just not attack into the shadow? Let's see, they can make it a 5/5. Let's see, so we can... I guess we can only make Thaw's Lieutenant into a 4/4. I guess they can't kill something and eat something with Misery Shadow, so we can just trade. I'll just put a counter on Recruitment Officer. We can attack for 5 with it. Alright. We'll let them eat a token if they want. Oh, I think I smell a rat. Alright, so they'll probably pump twice and then Fatal Push the Adelines, my guess. Hope they don't have a Wrath next turn. I should have played the other Mutavault. I thought about it, and as I was playing it, I was like, oh, I should have just played that. Holding up white doesn't really do anything. Alright, land Ritual, so it's pretty bad. Not a lot we can do about it, though. It's not that it's not a clock or whatever. That's not why. It's just legendary. And it, I don't know, just hard. Hard to play 4 of a 1-mana legendary card, you know? Alright, so I think they're dead if we go for Ossification. They just can't block enough stuff because they have to just like chump 2 things. They'll activate Chariot. They'll just have the one blocker. And then attack is lethal. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. All right, got a mulligan this one. Got a mulligan this one too, chat. They really don't want me to 5-0 today, I think. The magic gods are cursing me. Cursing me. All right, they're on 6 as well. We're going to go to 5, though. They kept 6. We'll keep this. Back a land. Maybe bodyguard. No Thoughtseize, but they probably got push. I'm going to lead with a weird one. I'm going to lead with Hopeful Initiate because I think that they're going to push the first play no matter what I do. And I want my Skrelv to really mess them up later. And so I'm going to play Hopeful, let them push it, and then I'll go Recruitment Skrelv. And I want the recruitment officer around later as well, so. Droff, thanks for 13 months. That's great weekend for Pio. Glad to see it be so diverse during the PT. Yeah, the PT was honestly gas, man. What'd you think of the PT? Alias, from what I watched, it was a lot of fun. I thought that the decks had a lot of innovation in them. I'm just a little sad that there weren't a ton of new cards played, you know? But I think that that's just kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to older formats. Whenever you have a new set, it has to have like a lot of really good stuff to have an impact on immediately. But I do think that it's a good... do think it's good. I really don't like how this is templated or whatever. Just feels a little strange sometimes. All right, so even if they have Tear Sunder, they can't eat something, so we can do this and then attack, and then we'll get the training. Okay, so we don't get the training. Yeah, but they didn't have... people just didn't have enough time to test Alias is the problem. I think that there's a chance that that's like a great card in the deck, but... I don't think I'm going to attack. If they kill my ossification and block, I'm in a lot of trouble. I do think Apparatus is really good. I think Apparatus is really good. I think Tyvar is really good. The lands are great. Skrelv is great. Everything else is on the chop and block. But those cards are all going to make a serious impact in the format, I think. It's just going to take a little while. All right, so they're going to make a 2-2. That's fine. We're going to eat this with ossification, then attack for 4, and they don't have a good block with a 2-2. I haven't seen too many Argoths. Makes sense, I guess, but it's just a little weird. Yeah, exactly, Giraffe. I think that the Shota's version of Rakdos playing 3 Mutavaults I thought was maybe the coolest innovation of Rakdos in the tournament. And it was on it. It honestly looked great for him, so I don't know. Perfect. Get the wedding down. We should wait till second main because no one has a stop on their second main, so we get a token for free. Now they can just kill it, which kind of sucks. Yeah. They've done a lot of cards recently that are just kind of messed up, you know. All right, so we get the token. They do have the Tear Sunder for it. It's unfortunate. Panic at the top hat. Thanks for the 6 months. Seems like our opponent is has a cool one going. Cheval Bane of Monsters in there. Alright, so they can make 2 tokens now. I think we just activate both Mute Vaults and shove. Is this bad? They activate, they go trade, eat, take 4, 5. No attack's probably fine. Change my mind. They can activate castle and take 2 if they want to, I guess. Ask for more. How do you feel about the meta from the Pro Tour? I thought that there was a lot of creativity, and I'm not sure creativity is that good, but it's fine. First strike, death touch. All right, let's get something that buffs. All right, so we'll just chump block with our token. I do think this Glissa might be good as well. It's a little weird, but it's good at defense. Not a lot of cards are great on defense, and this one is. First strike, death touch will do that. And the ability, if it ever connects, is pretty good too. All right, I'm just going to concede. I can't win. Tough one. All right, mulliganing a bunch. Doesn't bode well for my review of the deck. Keep. No one drop again. I'm gonna play Thalia just to use my mana efficiently. We can pump it. Oh yeah, Siege Rhino. I never thought Field of Ruin was that good in that deck, to be honest, but the Field of Ruins handle something very specific. But I don't think you can just play 4 Mutavaults because the Field of Ruin turned into Swamp, and Invoke Despair costs 4 black. So I don't know if that's like a good Mutavault deck, but I get what you are doing. Adeline's perfect draw. We're gonna go ahead and slam it and hope they don't have the 2-mana counter spell. If they have removal, that's fine. We have Adeline, so it'll stick around and be good later. They'll play Fable or some shit, and then we'll just hit the token with Brutal and go off. Zara's the Moon, thanks for the follow. Land Fable, Land Fable, Land Fable, Land Fable, Land Fable, Land Fable. Well, lands that activate like spells are off. That's the money. That's money. Hey, Land Fable. All right, let's draw a land. Perfect. They might be desperate enough to go for the 1 creature combo this turn. We're not lethaling next turn, but a 15/15 could save them, whereas... And then the Ossification can actually do something. If they play another Fable, we'll just Ossification the token. They discard Make Disappear an Impulse, okay? They must have drawn Make Disappear. They would use that on Adeline, like... maybe not 100%, but like 99% or whatever. Just another Fable? Okay. Well, they're going to maybe be able to really get my ass next turn if I'm not careful, so... Just hope I don't die, I guess. I'm going to go and play my land because I have Recruitment Officer, and if I draw a land, I can play a 2-drop off of it, assuming they're not dead. All right, hope I don't die. But I agree, yeah. Lands that have extra added abilities have always been a part of successful decks. It is what makes or breaks a lot of strategies, especially aggressive decks. Yeah, it is pretty fun to play. It's not that fun to play against, which I'm not super stoked about. The fact that you kind of just do nothing for 5 turns and then kill your opponent in a weird way kind of sucks. I like the fact that a lot more weird types of cards might get used to interact with the worm itself. I also like their sideboard plan. Their sideboard plan involves cutting the creativity package quite often, and that's not gonna save you, I don't think. I haven't done the math. Jump here, take 4, 5. Guess I have to kill one more thing. Don't let me attack with this, I think's lethal. I guess no, they can block here, kill this, take 3 down to 1, and then maybe we die next turn. If I lose, I'm gonna be sad. Hurt but don't dare. We also don't have counters on anything, or else we could go Hopeful Initiate and blow up a Fable. That'd be nice. We could even kill this blocker, you know? Alright, here comes Fiery whatever, Mabob. Fire Prophecy. Killing this. Okay. Skin. So I can block here and here. So I can keep a reflection. Wonder if I should have activated recruitment in response. Alright, let's activate Castle, I guess. Alright, so they get to flip this. If they have land, they can turn on Mutavault and then do it for 2. If they don't have land, they need land creativity. But, I mean, they were able to survive at 1, so more power to them. I could have maybe sequenced differently with the Thal's Lieutenant specifically on turn 2. I could have just not played that and instead played the 1-mana thing that dies. And then I would have had a big turn later with her, maybe, but I don't know. Hey, we won. Interesting. Right Aid for sure. Maybe wedding announcements. And then I don't really love the ossifications. I like Skrelv. All the 1-drops are good. Tali's great. Lieutenant Brutal Cathar's bad. Kind of want like 1 Guardian to protect from Brotherhood's End. I don't know if I want both. I don't really know what to cut for the last one. But Right Aid's good. Tali is good. All right, we got 1-drop, 2-drop. You saw 4-color R's at both RCQs you played this weekend? Was it the same person? Also, what auras? Alright, Hopeful down. The third lane's pretty good for the right aim. We'll probably be disrupted with Thalia. Alright, so they shocked. So the Thalia forces their hand to kill the Hopeful Initiate or counter the Thalia. I think that's good. Alright, so maybe they have a 1-mana thing. They're going to use a 1-mana thing to kill Hopeful Initiate or kill Thalia. Okay. Let's get physical. Let's try Right Aim. See if they have a counter spell. Alright. All over the town, the call to arms. Maybe I should have waited till this turn. I think I'm gonna die. Play Luminarch, play Thal's Lieutenant. I'm gonna put a counter on the Hopeful Initiate. And while we won't be able to train with it It could do something next turn to save us from a future creativity. But big score into creativity is the combo. And if they have creativity, we are dead. If they could have, I guess, sided out the combo. You could also, let's see. So if we put a counter here, we'll be able to get the Thal's Lieutenant up next turn, maybe, with the Luminarch and the Lieutenant itself. Maybe not. Maybe this is bad. Maybe we just lose a counter overall. This also protects this from sweeper this turn, which is nice. Yeah, the Crucifix. I think there's just tons of sideboard cards you can play to be good against the more popular things that are popping up. If creativity is a problem, Howled Moonlight seems fine. But like we have Rydane, we have Thalia. These are cards that are supposed to be somewhat disruptive, but obviously they don't always get the job done, you know. All right, so they didn't have it. That's good. They're gonna main phase kill thing. I will play Recruitment Officer. We'll play Thal's Lieutenant with the trigger on. We'll activate Mutavault. And then we just kind of hope again that we're not dead. We could have used Hopeful Initiate to protect ourselves from targeting the treasures, I guess, but I just want to try to kill. This is not quite lethal, but it does set up for lethal for next turn. And if we don't play anything, we're not really setting up for lethal next turn, I don't think. But maybe there was a way. It doesn't do it through removal, though, and they already showed me that they have removal. Impulse, they could have found another removal spell, too. Impulse and Impulse, so they're just digging hard for it, and they found it, probably. Wonder if I'm supposed to just play Recruitment Officer and then use Hopeful Initiate plus Thal's Lieutenant to stop the creativity. Probably. Huddled in the trenches. Alright, we'll keep. We got the old turn 1 Skrell. It's going to protect our stuff. I'm going to play Recruitment Officer first. I'm doing this again because I think Skrell is important for protecting the Hate Bear of Rydane. And our opponent is kind of incentivized to kill Recruitment Officer really quickly thanks to the 2 power. It's a lot of pressure pretty quickly, you know? He'd also an okay draw to land, but it gives us some pressure later if we need it. Yeah, I think thematically it wouldn't make sense to be human in the slightest with Phyrexian mana, but I guess I could have put this on a human, you know? I think I'm going to play Wedding Announcement this turn over Rydane. Okay. This will fight their interactive draw, Wedding Announcement. Next turn we can go Rydane plus Bodyguard. Attack for 1. No need to hold the Aganjo. There's no creatures to target really that matter. In the headline. I guess we'll keep holding it just in case. There might be like a shark token or something we want to pop. So far, though, this deck doesn't feel that good. It's not that I'm really missing anything. Like, the Brave the Elements being gone from the deck is not really that big of a deal. But it feels like most of these mid-range decks are just prepared, you know? Like, they all have a bunch of 1 mana, 2 mana removal thing. No way to play around that. It's okay. We get another token. Next turn we can animate Mutavault attack. This is honestly one of my least favorite parts about the combo decks that kind of exist in Pioneer. is that they're all combo control. You know, like all of them are extremely interactive until they kill you. You know, like if I have a feeling I'm just gonna get hit with like big score into, you know, big score into creativity after going removal one, removal two, removal three, and that's like pretty disheartening as an aggro player, right? Like, you know, I'm doing my best to try to put up some amount of pressure. I'm failing. You know, I have some disruptive creatures, but they're just dead. Like the turn I play them, you know. Inverter vibes, yeah, exactly. It's so easy to assemble the combo that it's just like frustrating to play against a lot of times. There's just like not a lot you can really do. Well, if all they're doing is bouncing Wedding Announcement with Otawara, I'm very stoked about that. I was assuming I was just going to be dead. Turn off auto yield. I thought they were about to wrath me. We can save one of our tokens. How do we make the Teamer twin version of creativity? I mean, that's what the deck already is. It sideboards into no combo. It already does that. Oh, Lotus Field is like the only exception, Sunset. They used to a bit. You know, they got Besajus and they got Otawaras and they would board in like Supreme Verdicts and shit sometimes or whatever. But it's more so like Inverter. You know, that was like a big thing for a while. The mono white Heliod Ballista deck was like really annoying. And I mean I don't mind that creativity exists. I think the card is cool. But one card combos are just really off-putting sometimes. All right. Well, we got 2 tokens off of our wedding announcement and a counterspell and an Otawara. So I gotta say, wedding announcement seemed like it was a good include for the post-sideboard games. All right, keep going. Keep, easy keep. Great opener. Many lands that do things as well. So no real fear of flooding out either. I wonder if we're about to move into a world where we just don't main deck Brutal Cathar anymore, right? Like last league I played the Mardu Sack deck, right? And I played against 0 targets for Claim the Firstborn in 5 matches. You know, creativity, blue white, Lotus Field, Soul Flare. Maybe the Mirror. We'll try to save the Aganjo as long as possible. Seems not the Mirror, another scam deck, but we do have multiple answers for it. Spell here would be nice. So let's just train. Next turn, we can activate Mutavault and play Ossification, or we can just Brutal Cathar, depending on what they do. Bitor Reunion. Alright, so we have to take out the... Oh, they're not playing Transmog. Okay. I guess they're going to reanimate this. Oh, that was a great draw. Bang. Easy win. Turn 4. Rydane for sure. Don't know about weddings. I'll keep the ossifications. I'm going to cut the Brutal Cathars. I don't think I'm going to have too many targets. Why do I go brr? I'm going to cut the Skrells. I don't think they're going to... I think if they have anything, it's going to be sweepers. They're probably they're probably a Fires of Invention deck. Maybe I should do Guardian of Fate though, because it protects my creatures better. I don't know. But maybe I don't want to cut Defector Might. Let's see more of their deck in game 2, and then we'll reassess for game 3. It's okay to like trust your gut in some spots and then make changes based on more information, right? We just don't have that much information about what they're playing. All right, we got 1-drop, 2-drop, and we need a land for a 3-drop. All right, let's go Luminarch, and I'm gonna put a counter on the Luminarch because then we can maybe train later. It's a little weird because if they already have incentive to kill the Luminarch, and now they have extra incentive because it's slightly bigger. But the Hopeful actually has some value as well. There comes a Chain to the Rocks. Yep. So they hit the Hopeful Initiate. So that's some good to note. We'll play Rydane. I'm gonna put a counter on it. Chain of the Rocks number 2. Rydane down. Tilt. All right, we're gonna attack. It's not really gonna do a ton. But next turn it'll get big enough to attack, and we'll have the extra token. This can attack as well. We can't play Hopeful and activate, so we're gonna wait. Here comes Red Cavalier, probably triple red. Oh, it is creativity. It's just creativity for Cavalier of Dawn. Am I missing something? Is there some infinite combo with this or something? So they're just blowing up cards. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think they were creativity. Just no targets, huh? All right, so there's a 6/5 now. So they'll eat this, take 6. Ossification on one of them. They can, I guess, bend this and get one back, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand this. I wonder if they thought there was an infinite combo where they could make infinite golems or something. I'll just take 4. I guess this has 5 toughness. I just don't want to get hit with like deal 3 to everything or whatever. They have a Traxa 2, so they just hit badly. This is why you don't play a bunch of creatures when you're playing creativity. Oh, my planes don't get blown up. Guess I'll just target Adeline again, since they didn't kill it. I feel like I'm gonna get my land blown up right here, though, somehow. But maybe not. Big score, okay. Emperor, okay. This is all fine. Grade 2/2 to block. All right, so they're gonna block here. Maybe I should put a counter on this. I don't think I'm gonna play recruitment officer. Maybe I should. 4 manas Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter would be okay. I don't know how much play it would see. All right, just say go. Shake it, baby. All right, let's play Ride In and see what they do. This will tax them a little bit, so they might tell me what's going on, so I can actually do something here. Swing with everybody, it's fine. Put a counter on this to protect it from anger or whatever. Jump here, trade some tokens, jump here maybe. This only has 3 tokens on it. It's a 3/4, so this is a pretty bad block, all things considered. It's just a mistake, I think. Because it got an extra counter mid-combat, so. Oh, for sure, Fire Trucks. 2 of the cards that I thought needed to be in the format were Thalia and Liliana the Veil, and they reprinted both of them, so I don't really have a ton to complain about or whatever. Vogue Justice. So they have nothing to bring back. I guess they have Birth of Meletus, a Wandering Emperor. Okay. I would be okay with Snapcaster and Pioneer. I think that there's plenty of powerful Izzet or whatever already, and I think Snapcaster Mage would just give a different angle of attack or whatever, and I think that'd be cool. All right, so this has Flying Vig. We have 3 attackers. They have just the Mutavault to block. They're at 6 now, though. So they have to block here. So I don't think we have lethal. Guess we'll just attack with these anyway. No Mutavault, though. This token should probably go out the Wandering Emperor, if I'm being honest. Oh, did I just missed lethal? I'm dumb. I forgot I was going to have the token. All right, we'll go. I'm just going to say go because I have the Hopeful Initiate to destroy a Chain to the Rocks / a random target for stuff. Yeah, I think Lingering Souls would be a cool addition to the format as well. There are some flashback cards already, so it wouldn't be that big of a leap. Missing lethal is embarrassing, but whatever. Just forgot about the 1/1 coming in. I don't think I can keep a hand that's all 1 drops or whatever. All right, we can't keep this either. All right, we'll keep this one, but I'm not happy about it. We'll put back these 2. All right, they're on 5 as well. So I have a nice clean fight. Maybe I just put back 2 lands. Hope I draw the 3rd for Brutal. That's probably better. I wonder if I hold Mutavault. Yeah, let's hold Mutavault. It's fine. No Thoughtseize. Good news. 1 drop? Nope. Harvester. I'm gonna go ahead and aspirant, put a counter on it. If they want to trade, that's okay. Frey, just been okay. I've been mulliganing a lot. I think the deck kind of naturally has a slightly higher curve because of ossification in the 2-drop slot. But I guess we trimmed a couple of 3s, so I don't know. It's only playing 22 lands. I think you should be playing 23. I was happy with 23 in most of my mono white builds, but I actually think it's probably closer to 24 is correct. I'd much rather go up on lands and down because we have ways to use our mana. Scroll's been okay. It just dies every time, but that's kind of what it's supposed to do. The problem is we don't have punishments for when they interact with us. We need like extraction specialists to bring it back, right? No discard on Fables. Interesting. Their hand must have been like Thoughtseize creature removal spell. So maybe their hand's like Harvester 2 removal spells or something. All right. Like Adeline will attack. They'll eat the token, but then they're going to use the Blood Tide to kill the Adeline, but I think that's okay. Pasta Lover, thanks for the follow. Do you miss having Brave? Not really. I was never a big Brave head. It was only good for Falter. It was like okay as Brave the Elements or as protection or whatever, but the money came from being able to use it to make all your creatures unblockable. I mean, you can feel whatever you want. It doesn't mean that you're right. I'm just giving my thoughts on it, you know. I don't know. So they got back another Harvester. All right. Not in love with what's happening, but what are you going to do? Skrove and Brave are very similar cards. All right, you win. They had this rolled up. I don't know why I ran into it. All right, so wedding announcement definitely for the Rakdos matchup. Kind of like the swords. Main deck Kolaghan's command's kind of annoying. It's not. It's newish. I need ossification for Shieldred. Got Brittles. Keep the Skrove. Trim Kithian. And trim Athalia. And it doesn't really solve the issues that the deck had before. Like, the deck didn't really have a lot of trouble beating White Weenie, or beating Mono Green. I feel like you could just board for ossification against them, and that's fine. And against Shieldred, you know, we kind of just overpowered them sometimes. I don't know. I feel like this is just like not a 4 of main deck card, really. I mean, you certainly can. I just don't know if it's necessary. All right, so they probably have Fatal Push for the recruitment officer. They don't. Good. Land is great because we can go Adeline or Wedding Announcement depending on what they play. Stomp on the little guy. Land. Let's hope I don't get hit with a sweeper next turn. Scrub was a lot worse against like Anger of the Gods or Brotherhood's End than Brave the Elements, but it's a lot better at just being a proactive thing you can play, you know? Well, we got to do it. We got to do it. I'm not going to bother protecting. They didn't kill last turn. It's different. Like, if you turn one Skrull and your opponent doesn't kill it, that means that your 2-drops are just protected, like your disruptive or your aggressive things. Now we lose this. We need to land so bad. 22 land gamer, man. Elitis. All right. Well, we can't ever beat that. We can't really beat that anyway. All right, you went. The removal spells don't seem that necessary or good. Maybe I'm just like burning the removal too quickly, but like I don't have enough lands to make 2 decisions. My decision is essentially made for me every single turn because of my lack of mana sources. Well, that's because there's only 22 in the deck, Eddie. I think it should be at least 23, maybe 24. But the trouble has been that I'm missing my land drops in every match. In one game, every match so far, I've like missed a land drop that I really needed, which literally just means that you're just like not playing enough or whatever. It's okay. We just need to make up for it some way. Next turn, I'll play 2 hopeful initiates probably. All right, so probably some mirror-ish. All right, we're gonna put a counter on a hopeful and attack with 2 hopefuls. This way, the Thali doesn't eat anything. We can maybe use Kithian later. If they want to double block, we kill both. That's fine with me too. Lieutenant's pretty shitty. All right, so now we can put a counter here and attack with all of them. And then we can give indestructible, so if they block, they lose their creature. And if they don't block, we get to flip Gideon, make something indestructible, or force them to attack, and then we can play 2/2 drops. Or maybe hold up Mutable and play Thalia, and then play Luminar next turn. We'll kill the Thalia just to kill the first striker. Flip the Kithian. All right, so we'll make Lieutenant attack. Bad Moon, thanks for 6 months. Welcome back to Todd Squad. Appreciate you. When do you bring in Guardians of Faith? Against Supreme Verdict. We probably should bring it in against Rakdos too, since they have Extinction events. All right, Brutal Cathar comes down. It's gonna pump this. This has to attack. This doesn't. We'll let it take the damage. We'll go animate. Mutawald animate. Mutawald animate. Counters. 1 each. So we can attack with everything. They gotta do some blocking. I think they have to chump both 4s and take 8 down to 2, which is essentially game over. Because we get the Thali back. Eddie, thanks for the follow. Some tenderness. Got him. Portable in. I actually kind of like wedding announcement in the mirrors. I know that might be weird or whatever. The game gets really crumbled up, or like the board gets gummed up. And now without Brave the Elements, we just don't have to worry that much about it. Uncut Thalia. I like Scrove okay. But maybe we just cut them. Yeah, I mean, look, they got to make the best business decision for themselves. I don't think they did in like the best way or whatever, but you know, it is what it is. I'm over it at this point. It's been a year. All right, so we got a couple portable holes and a Brutal Cathar and some lands. We're definitely keeping. We'll probably just aggressively play all of our interaction. What'd you say in the mirror match? I boarded in 4 wedding announcements, 4 portable hole, and I cut Thalia and Skrelv and a Dauntless Bodyguard. If no one's playing Brave the Elements anymore, I think wedding announcement's great in the mirror. And it might be so good that I think it might be worth main decking now. Because if your opponent's like interacting with you, it's just great. And I think you sided in most scenarios now. We'll try to hold the Aganjo as long as possible. All right, well, I assume they're just doing the same shit as I am, so we'll just go for a Thal's Lieutenant. Let them Portable Hold It or Brutal Catharite, and we'll just do the same back, and we'll do that dance for a while, I guess, until one of us is left sad. You're gonna have to be a little more specific. I didn't actually watch them play against Lotus Field. All right, ossification on Brutal, probably. That's fine. All right, we're gonna play the Adeline and attack, and we're gonna make this a 4/4 so it can swing in. We are going to portable hold the ossification also, but I'm gonna do this first. We probably should have done it pre-combat. I have a feeling they have a ganja or something. The way that they're just like kind of doing a weird. I should have maybe done this first, but I didn't see it until I was mid-combat anyway, if I'm being honest. And I feel like they're just going to blow it up, so I didn't really want to do it. Oh, they're still playing Brave. Okay, okay. So they're not playing the new version, even though they do have ossification. ZNT plays a lot. I think ZNT's thoughts on the deck are important. So if ZNT's still playing Brave, it's possible that Brave is still better than Skrelv. Destroy Evil on the Adeline, okay. Another Lieutenant. We'll eat the token with a Brutal. We're gonna get rid of both things and attack for a chunk. Actually, let's go ossification on the Adeline, and then we'll play our Adeline. I really don't like leaving in Brave in the mirrors. It is a great way to bust through at the end, so maybe they just have the one. Or maybe only like 2 or 3. We whipped his ass pretty bad, though. All things considered. Alright, I'm gonna play Portable on the Lieutenants, I guess. And I'll play Hopeful Initiate 2 to trigger stuff. And we can use Hopeful Initiate to blow up some sort of instant speed enchantment if they have it. But also flip back Moonrage Brute. They're in like serious chump block territory, and if they have a Gonjo, then they still have to go like activate Meat Vault, chump, blow this up, take 1 or so. They could have another Destroy Evil for this Lieutenant, I guess. Okay. Alright. They're still in some trouble, chats. You think Bad Spirits is much far behind Mono White as an aggro deck? I think Spirits is fine. Okay, so let's talk about what I liked and didn't like with the deck. So for starters, I thought Skrelv was okay. It's hard to compare it to something like Brave the Elements because your opponent just naturally kills it all the time. And my opponent did kill Skrelv basically every time. So maybe that led to one of the games my opponent didn't have enough stuff to do later in the game to interact, and the Skrelv was able to kind of overwhelm them because it's a 1 mana must kill. What I did not like was the ossifications, and I think what I'll probably end up doing in this build is probably trimming a bodyguard, trimming an ossification, adding a land, and adding a extraction specialist to the main deck, and maybe even cutting 1 more of the Dauntless bodyguards for another extraction specialist. Sideboard, I don't know about Guardian of the Faith. It never came up. There's plenty of ways to prevent sweepers from being devastating against you. I don't think holding up 3 mana is the way to beat it necessarily. Wedding Announcement feels like the best way to do that exactly. Sword of Forge of Frontier was kind of cool. I didn't ever draw it. I didn't ever side in against like mono green. Didn't ever play against mono green. Portable Hole, obviously great. Ossification was like fine. You know, I think if we are cutting some ossifications from the main, we just want to move them to the sideboard. But the more non-creature spells you play in the main deck, the worse like Thalia gets, and the worse your non-creatures get. And we had a lot of situations where 2 mana for ossification was just too much to pay for, especially against that first Golgari deck we played against. But overall, I like White Weenie. I think that this build with Skrelv over Brave the Elements could be the future. But I do think you just need to hammer home the Skrelv and just by playing some number of extraction specialists, either main deck or sideboard or both. So that's definitely where I'm going to be moving after this. But this is for you two. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Tandy, and we'll see you next time.